a man to be a human.
In the name of our ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of what we call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the gatekeeper, host of this program, known here on social media. Wherever you may find me, I am known as the mighty Angel Snub 7. I am your soul brother number 1. We want to give honor and bring remembrance to a fallen soldier, a true lover of the once called Negro, we who are the descendants of slaves born in America, the Afro-American, the Negro, the colored, or whatever you choose. This man, May 19th, his birth anniversary, had he not been taken from us, it's a possibility we would have the wisdom to help guide us into the next phase of liberation. He would be 90 years old, I believe. 90 years old. He was taken from us. Why do I talk about Brother Malcolm X Shabazz? Because I have and feel something in common with him, his sincerity. And this is never to say, or we do not make a claim, that Brother Malcolm was perfect. But Brother Malcolm did not deserve what happened to him. He was betrayed by his own. And you can try to justify, and you can try to spin some narrative so that certain folks don't have to accept responsibility or be held accountable. But the masses of the people, they're not going to be fooled. There are some who will accept that narrative, and then there are the vast majority who will not. You took our soldier away. You took one of the greatest warriors that we ever had away. And since his time, since you believe he deserved to go away, those who live, what have they done? Those who live, those who say he's not worthy of life, and they are worthy. What did they do? What have they done? Nothing. Put on a nice show, but they've done nothing. When a person leaves this earth, he cannot speak for himself. So as long as I have breath, those who seek to slander, those who seek to mock, those who seek to degrade this brother, since he is unable to defend himself, and we know Malcolm don't need my help. He's perfectly capable of dealing with slander and gossip. That's why there was a need to silence his voice. But since he cannot do that, this brother deserves defense. This brother deserves voices that will speak for him while these wicked living beings try to tear down his legacy. And I was there. One of his main enemies, Louis Farrakhan, tried to destroy his legacy for 10 years. And he failed. I was there. I saw it for myself. I didn't even know who Malcolm X was until Louis Farrakhan started talking about him, slandering his name, calling for his death, even though he was gone, Louis Farrakhan. But the people did not go for the old okie doke. So out of all of Farrakhan's 10 years of trying to destroy the legacy of this man of whom influenced him, was his teacher, was his brother, all his efforts to destroy Brother Malcolm failed and flipped. So in 1992, because of Farrakhan, and Farrakhan brought this man's name up, it inspired Soul Brother Spike Lee to make a movie. So while you trying to destroy this man, you actually raising him from death to life, because prior to you running your damn mouth, nobody was talking about Brother Malcolm. Not really. But once Louis Farrakhan started running his big ass mouth, it started raising Malcolm's legacy from death to life, and he still is immortal. Farrakhan will not be remembered like Brother Malcolm. He's done nothing to be honorable. Jealous of this man. Won't even let the man rest in peace. You got what you wanted. You called for his death and you got it. Sit your happy ass, bean pie eating ass down. Go somewhere with Father Flager, an accused pedophile. Go somewhere and suck lips with him. you don't have no problem kissing men. So there are those who understand Brother Malcolm, and then there are those who use his legacy for their own evil purposes. To my knowledge, Brother Malcolm spoke about black nationalism. I never heard where Brother Malcolm talk about the red, black, and the green and Pan-Africanism. He talked about the unification of oppressed people, but he did not talk in that manner. He was a black nationalist. But even if he did speak about the ideology of Pan-Africanism, he was not full of hatred and nastiness and profane and evil like these Pan-African type folks. Now look at my screen here. This is what Malcolm said. This is a quote. Let me move this here. It says, "I'm for truth, no matter who tells it. I'm for justice, no matter who is it for or against. I'm a human being first." He did not say I'm black first. He did not say I'm black first. He did not say I'm a Pan-African first. He did not say I'm Kemetic first. He did not say I'm RBG first. He said I'm a human being first and foremost. And as such, I'm for whoever and whatever benefits humanity as a whole. These Pan-African, pro-black type folks, you never hear them quote this from Brother Malcolm. We're going to run it through one more time real quick. I'm for truth, no matter who tells it. I'm for justice, no matter who it is for or against. I'm a human being first and foremost. And as such, I'm for whoever and whatever benefits humanity as a whole. They use Brother Malcolm for their own wicked purposes. Now, if Malcolm X did not say this, then please let us know. What do we do here on this platform? Are we black first? Our priority is ourselves. But we're human beings first. The only one who cares and make their race first is a damn racist. A racist in training. We're not racist. Malcolm said, I'm for whoever and whatever benefits humanity as a whole. I'm not against humanity. We want everybody to do well. We don't want to see other human beings suffer. We don't want to see nobody oppressed. We want everybody to share in freedom, justice, and equality. But a racist in training is about my skin color, my melanin, and the black this, and the white this. And they're using Malcolm for their RBG nonsense. This quotation tells you Malcolm wasn't about RBG. Malcolm was not about black first. Malcolm was about taking care of us as a priority, but I'm a human being first. I'm not a damn racist. And so you find these who are racist, chocolate-covered racists, They want you to get on board their slave plantation and support their massa, who is the original racist, the godfather of racism. There is no pride in racism. So when you hear this quote from Malcolm, and for those of you who have been under the sound of my voice in this ministry, you hear the voice of Malcolm. That's exactly what I represent. That's exactly what we're doing here. We're for truth. We're for reality. And I will say, had Brother Malcolm was able to live, Malcolm X would be with us. Soul power. Because it ain't about color. Black power because it's about your skin, your race. Because you're a racist in training. You want to be like the Peckerwood. And if you listen to them, they sound just like the Peckerwood. So soul power takes us out of the riffraff, this racial construct. So you can't call us racist. We're not tripping off our skin color, and we are no threat to you. We stand for truth, reality, and we are human first. Whatever benefits humanity. You treat a person like you want to be treated. Ain't nothing special about your damn skin color. In this reality that we live, there's a yin and a yang. There's always an opposite. So melanin has a good side, and melanin also has a bad side. It's good being tall, but sometimes it's not good being tall. It's always a black and a white, a yin and a yang. Always. Thank you, Brother Micah. Thank you from Brother Angel up and up. Crazy folks. Deacon said, talk black to me. We don't do that here. And this blackity black stuff got your mind all messed up. And Malcolm knew it during his time. It had us crazy. And you wonder why you can't progress no further, because you are exactly where you need to be with your father, the devil. Because you think like one, you act like one, like your father, the racist. And you need to be with him. You ain't going no damn where. You are exactly where you want to be, with them. I'm very emotional over Brother Malcolm. I was 18 years old. And when I was in the Nation of Islam under Louis Farrakhan, we had a meeting at the Audubon Ballroom. And before we could set everything up, somebody directed me to the place where Brother Malcolm was gunned down. I went to the spot and I stood in the spot and I let my imagination run with me. I put myself in his shoes. I imagined myself being gunned down. I imagined some of the last images I saw probably was my wife and my children in the front row. Tears start coming down my face because this poor man did not deserve this. Even before coming to this live stream, tears shed out my eyes. He did not deserve what happened to him. But when you have the mind of a racist, now remember, the Nation of Islam is taught that every time you see a black man, you see God. They are taught to love black people. But apparently, they did not learn from their own teachings. Apparently, they was hypocrites. They did not have a problem with going in a back room and plan to kill God. Because if every time you see a black man, you see God, Malcolm X's skin color did not change. He was still a brother. He was still a black man. And you still pulled out your pistol and your shotgun. So that means these people are willing to kill God. It did not say in the teachings, if he turned hypocrite, if he's a traitor, and all that other nonsense. It said, if you are a black man, you are God. You do not qualify. Elijah Muhammad was just a messenger of Allah. He cannot judge nobody. Just bring a message. Only God himself can judge Malcolm X and punish Malcolm X. But you pieces of trash, you sewer rats couldn't wait. So he's gone. What have they done better? Nothing. Louis Farrakhan running his mouth for the last 40 years, don't have a pot to piss in, took maybe $1 billion of poor people's money. And done what? Run your mouth. You got what you wanted. And even after the brother was shot down and put in the ground, they still running their mouth. Won't let the man rest in peace. So I'll be damned if I'm going to be silent and let these bastards talk about Brother Malcolm. And I'm not the only one. He deserved it. He deserved defense. I want to send a shout out to our sister Omega Courtney and brother Palmetto Star and all those who are attending the Malcolm X Festival in Atlanta, Georgia. Unfortunately, we weren't able to go. Our sister Rashida Strober should be making a live probably when things get to going, and I will bring her experience to us live. I I really didn't even know how Malcolm X thought. But now I know that I'm on the right path because the way I'm thinking, the way I'm rolling right now is the same kind of direction Malcolm was doing in 1965. He understood. So this house is Malcolm's house. You thought you killed him, but you didn't. Malcolm lives. And you murderers, you always gonna get called out with your fake ass smile, your fake ass brotherhood. Malcolm X worked for 12 years for these pieces of garbage. And this is how they repaid him. He talk about the messenger. They talking about your messenger right now. They put your messenger in prison. They burned down, set on fire your Muhammad Speaks newspaper trucks. They threw Elijah Muhammad and his followers in jail, in prison. You ain't did a damn thing. They murdered at least 7 to 9 Muslims. You ain't do a damn thing. Malcolm didn't kill nobody. The same thing Malcolm was talking about, the Peckerwood was putting in his newspapers, saying the same stuff. You didn't burn down no newspapers. You didn't assassinate no editors or nothing. Bunch of cowards. This pro-black Pan-African crap is evil. I gave them the benefit of a doubt. I understood it was evil going back 10 years ago. I could see these pieces of trash is not about black unity. They're not about soul unity. They're about themselves. They want you and me on their slave plantation. That's what it's all about. They're just as nasty and evil and wicked as the white supremacists. Ain't no difference. So I'm standing in New York, in the spot where Malcolm was gunned down. Then I got to turn around and listen to this man slander his name. If I was a zombie, if I was a robot, I would have took what Louis Farrakhan had to say on face value, but I didn't. I think for myself, always have. And I went out and did my research. And I got the information. And even though I love Elijah Muhammad was the father I didn't have when I was growing up. But if I met Elijah Muhammad, I would have told him in his face, you wrong. I love you, daddy, but you're wrong. How you treated Malcolm. Leave him alone. He gave you 12 years. He put your happy ass on the map. Malcolm X was the one that put the Nation of Islam on the map. He did what Elijah Muhammad could not do. Malcolm X did what God couldn't do. Because Allah came to us in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, and Master Farad Muhammad didn't make you international. Master Farad Muhammad did not bring the black intellectuals to the temple, the celebrities, the sports stars, the politicians. Malcolm was the one that brought all this to you, and this is how you repay him. You should be damn ashamed. You should apologize. You should say, I'm sorry. We made a mistake. We was immature. But no, they're going, we didn't do nothing. You're a damn lie. One of Malcolm's daughter told Farrakhan in his face, I understand about the government agencies and all these people involved, but I saw black and brown hands pulling the trigger on my father, and they must be held accountable and responsible. You're still in the equation. You can talk about the FBI, you can talk about the CIA all you want to. None of these men, innocent or guilty, none of them have been found to be government informants. None of them. 5 to 7 of them, or whatever it was. None of them have been proven to be government agents because they're not. You have that same mentality right now in 2021. The same mindset. Who knows how many times I've been threatened? I was even threatened in the mosque itself. That's why I stopped going. I used to go to the Nation of Islam temple, buy a bean pie, find a call, talk to the brothers, until they start threatening me. Crazy ass Negroes. They want me on their plantation. What you want me on your plantation for? Because you don't like black folks. I work my butt off in your organization, but because of my skin color, I won't be able to rise in the ranks of the Nation of Islam. It's all about light-skinned, red-bone folks. You can look at any Savior's Day, and the whole rostrum, nothing but a bunch of light-skinned, yellow folks. But you're talking all that blackity black stuff. Where the damn black people at? It's just like somebody talking about apples, and the only thing you see is a bunch of oranges. Damn, I thought you loved apples so much. Where the damn apples at? I see a bunch of oranges and bananas. So before we get into the other side of our topic, we have to, and I have to, give honor on this day, honor and respect, memory to our brother Malcolm X. Shabazz. I want to send a shout out to his family. May his grandson rest in peace, if that's possible. May our brother Malcolm rest in peace. A shout out to Malcolm's daughters. In memory of his wife, Betty Shabazz, who tried to warn him that these people are jealous, they're envious, they're your enemies. But Malcolm, he couldn't believe it because he was so in love. And even when the reality was in his face, Malcolm still couldn't believe it. Can I come back home? Oh, dear Holy Apostle, can I come back home? Still have hope. Do you understand? These people never was, well, I take that back. In the beginning, when Elijah Muhammad and his organization didn't have a damn thing, they probably was your brother. But when the money started rolling in, and the women with the big booties start walking back and forth, up and down, it changes people. Money corrupts. Big booty and a smile corrupts. And here you are coming out of nowhere, and these men been in the organization for who knows how long, and they ain't did a damn thing. So Elijah Muhammad is attracted to the worker. They jealous, emotional. Like most of these men on YouTube, I hurt their feelings all the time. I hurt their feelings. Jealous. Just do the work. Matter of fact, Malcolm is on your side, you dumb bastard. But he's still jealous. Because they in love with another man. And they want to be close to this man. They want this man to praise them. Because this man is an image that's beyond life itself. I never gravitated toward that divine crowd. I never viewed Master Farad Muhammad as God. I view Master Farad Muhammad as a person who wanted to help black people. I just viewed Elijah Muhammad as just a brother who just wanted to help us change our condition. I never been into that divine crap. What's divine about your happy ass? You take a dump, you have to breathe air, and you gonna die just like everybody else. Do you want to help us change this condition or not? If you do, I want to roll with you. Because I'm 18 years old. I don't know how. So I will follow my elders because my elders claim they know how. Apparently they don't. Because 50 years later, we still in the same damn condition. And these Pan-African RBG fake-ass pieces of trash using Brother Malcolm to hide their dirty religion because, again, Malcolm is saying right here, I'm for the truth. No matter who tells it, I'm for justice. No matter who is it for or against, I'm a human being first and foremost. And as such, I'm for whoever and whatever benefits humanity as a whole. Not black people. He said humanity. So how can you use Brother Malcolm as RBG hate nation? Racist and training nation. Take your bum ass on somewhere. We are Malcolm. You're the cracker. We're Malcolm X. Brother Malcolm, thank you so much for your service. Thank you so much for your sacrifice. And I stand because you stood. And if I got to take a bullet, so be it. Thank you. That's all I can say. Thank you, Brother Malcolm. Thank you for being a good role model. Thank you for your sincerity. Thank you for your work. I'm not going to sit around here and let these sewer rats taint and spoil your image. Malcolm X is not you. Now, when Sister Rashida, if she goes live at the Malcolm X Festival in Atlanta, Georgia, we will bring that to you here live. Rest in peace, Brother Malcolm. Thank you. Thank you, Brother Malcolm. We're going to go ahead on to our next topic. And for those who are in the spirit of Malcolm X, then my talk about Bruce Lee don't bother you. But if you're a ragged ass, fake ass, blackity black Pan African, it might bother you. But guess what? I don't give a damn. You don't pay my bills. You don't do a damn thing for me. You don't do nothing for the people either. Just a bunch of parasites and leeches. So let's go and find this other image here. Well, yeah, let me do this here. We're going to go ahead to our main topic.
Country state. I guess I'm a country boy. So, but I was born there in a city that had a population of 600 people and one stoplight, no hospital. So from Kentucky to Los Angeles, I got involved in the movie business. First, I was training pretty hard in martial arts. My original style was Okinawa Shore and Ryu. I earned my black belt in Okinawa Shore and Ryu. And then I started studying other systems. The latest art that I have studied, I started studying in 1991 with voice Gracie and Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. I got involved with the Jiu-Jitsu part of it. Because all these years I was doing my kicking and punching. I was world champion, middleweight world champion. Some people don't know that. They think I only do karate and movies. No, I was middleweight world champion. Yeah, I started doing grappling. How many people here worked out in grappling? Just one? One person in grappling, any type of grappling? Okay. Interesting sport. Grappling is interesting. Kicking punch is very good, and I think I better learn some grappling. In case I got down there, I better learn how to defend myself down there. From there, I decided to get into, well, actually, I decided after 1971 when I won the middleweight world championship, I got in the movie business. That's when it all started for me. The Dragon was my second film, and went from there. So now, I'm not going to tell you anything else about me. You can ask me whatever you want. If you have any questions about anything, I don't care. Ask me about politics you want, I don't care.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to get there with the mic. You're second on my list. Gentleman here first.
You didn't actually get to fight Bruce Lee, did you? And if you did, if you got to fight Bruce Lee in the film, do you think you would have won?
Outside the field, either one. No, Bruce was, that's a good question. You know what I realized about a month ago at one of the other Comic Cons in the States, the guy said, hey, you didn't have a scene with Bruce Lee in the movie. I thought about it. I didn't have a scene with Bruce Lee in the movie. I cannot believe that. I had some great lines, but I had no scenes with Bruce Lee. I don't know. I didn't think about that before the guy asked me about that. Now, about fighting with Bruce Lee. I just don't say this up now. Everybody's going to ask me this. I know. I'm going to tell you. My opinion. Bruce Lee was the greatest martial artist that ever lived. Okay? That's my opinion. I fought a lot of great champions. I've trained a lot of great champions. But Bruce was like one step above everybody. He wasn't just a martial artist who did kicks and punches on the screen. He could do it for real. When he was kicking and punching, during Bruce Lee's era, there was nobody, no champion in my opinion, that was on this level. It was just absolutely incredible. But you'll hear more about this in my book. Bruce was the type of guy that could spar with you, kicking and punching. No matter how big you are, like 265, 270, 125, didn't matter what size you were. Bruce was like 140, 135, somewhere around there. You could be 225. He could spar with you, hands and feet, you couldn't touch him. Seriously. Then he'll say to you, oh, would you like to go hands only? And you go hands with you. Nobody can touch you. Martial artist wise. Okay? So I cleared that up. I know that question's going to come up. What other questions do you have?
Here we go. We got a gentleman here.
Yeah, Bruce Lee again, Realism. How well did you get to know the man Bruce Lee? Tommy, how well did you get to know him?
Well, that's kind of a funny story too, because when I went to Los Angeles in 1970, I won the World Championship in 71. I went there in like 70 or 60, late 69, 1969 or 1970, and I wanted to train with Bruce Lee. And I found out where he was, and the guy told me Bruce Lee was down in Chinatown in Los Angeles. No address, just a little area down there. Here's how you get there. So I went looking for Bruce Lee, and I couldn't find him. So I went around the corner. It was a Kung Fu school. I went to Kung Fu school, and I said, hey, look, can you tell me how I can find Bruce Lee, where Bruce Lee's school is? He said, I'm sorry, Bruce Lee's down for Hong Kong. So I didn't get a chance at that time to train with Bruce. But so the first time I met Bruce Lee was on the set of Ibn'rad in 1973. That's when I first met him. And I was very fortunate to be able to work out with him on the set. We did a lot of pre-arranged sparring, pre-arranged techniques, but I regret that I never had a chance to work out with him on a very consistent basis. I just didn't get that opportunity. But the time I did spend with him was incredible.
Wow. Let me get my image here. Welcome back. Welcome back. Here's another one of the persons in my life that influenced me. And it just so happened he's Asian, he's Chinese. He is, according to Jim Kelly, the greatest martial artist ever lived. That's what Jim Kelly, we just heard Jim Kelly say out of his mouth. We're going to come back to that real quick. Says here in the caption, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless like water. That's what this ministry represents. See, water takes various forms. A water can be a gas, it can be a liquid, and can be a solid. You cannot destroy water. It'll just become a gas, or it can be solid, or it can be a liquid. It's formless. What we bring here, this ministry, we are formless. There is no style. They asked Bruce Lee one time about what is Yeet Kune Do? And he said, it's the way of the intercepting fist, or the art of fighting without fighting. What is the reality's temple? The reality's temple is the acceptance of reality being pro-black without being pro-black. Those with low IQs just don't get it. Be water, my friend. We are water. And in religious teaching, water is wisdom. We're water. It was 1971, 1972, probably 1972. I was about 9 or 10 years old, and I went with I call him my father, Lionel Chavis. He's the best man I ever known personally, physically. Elijah Muhammad was the father I never really knew, but Lionel Chavis was my father that I knew physically, because my biological didn't bother. He took me to see Bruce Lee movie for the first time. And it was The Chinese Connection or Fist of Fury. Man, incredible. You just don't know. Bruce Lee. And by the time 1973, Bruce Lee mania. In my neighborhood. See, most of my life, some of you probably don't have this experience. The majority of my life, I grew up around nothing but soul brothers and sisters. I very rarely had contact and interaction with Caucasian people. I was always surrounded by black folks. These people that's talking all this blackity black stuff probably never lived in an environment. It's nothing but black folks. That's how I was raised. And I was the only one who was influenced by pro-black teachings or whatever because of my introduction to Nation of Islam teachings. I was the only one in the whole neighborhood for years, probably even to this day. They were never interested. People in my neighborhood was not interested in the Black Panthers or even Dr. King. They did talk about Dr. King, but they never talked about the Black Panthers. They never talked about Stokely Carmichael. They never talked about the Nation of Islam. They didn't give a damn about none of that pro-black stuff. None of it. So when Bruce Lee became popular, nobody was under the influence of these racist pro-black teachings. And in my neighborhood, as children, we was only 9, 10 years old or whatever. This man, Bruce Lee, may he rest in peace. He transitioned at 32 years old. Did a lot in his lifetime. More than many of us will ever see in our whole entire life. As far as we was concerned. And I read some of the comments by some of these idiot ass pieces of sewer trash pro-blacks. They don't like the fact that I'm telling you my reality. When I was 9, 10 years old, Bruce Lee in my black neighborhood was a brother. He was our brother. We had all these, what they call them, blaxploitation movies, a lot of them, praising pimps and all this other foolishness. And in the early 70s, Asians was treated bad also. So when Bruce Lee started coming up the ranks, he was a hero to Asian people and he was a hero to black folks also. Bruce Lee had no prejudice against nobody. And he taught us martial arts for the first time. His own people did not want him to teach black folks or nobody. And I'm very sure they was like that because of the hatred and the prejudice they had to face in European countries in America. Sister Ingrid in the house. Sister Ingrid in the house. How you gonna get, look, how you gonna get angry at my experience? I'm telling you how it was when I was growing up. In my neighborhood, Bruce Lee was black. In my neighborhood, Bruce Lee was a soul brother. And I don't give a damn how angry you get, mad you get, upset. We hate ourselves. I don't give a damn about all that stuff you're talking about. It was Bruce Lee that made us interested in martial arts. From the beginning, it was Bruce Lee. Show me the African martial artists that brought this to us. I'll wait. Put in the chat room the African martial artists that taught us martial arts. We learned about karate and kung fu and all that stuff because of Bruce Lee. When I was growing up, when Bruce Lee was alive, there was none of this talk. Bruce Lee was fake. Bruce Lee this and that and that. Bruce Lee couldn't beat. All this talk. Now, you did hear through the grapevine, when it got to Bruce, Bruce was ready to kick your ass. And then not too long after, you didn't hear that rumor no more. Bruce Lee had a temper control problem. He was ready to kick your ass and show you he was the real deal. And so we would hear through the grapevine, somebody challenged Bruce Lee. And after a while, you didn't hear that no more because chances are Bruce Lee kicked their ass. They didn't have nothing else to say. So when a person died, y'all can say, you can say anything you want to about somebody when they dead. But all this crap degrading Bruce Lee, don't want to give him credit for what he done, That did not exist when he was alive. I know because I was there. I was a Bruce Lee fan. We love Bruce Lee in my neighborhood. You go out and cut up a broom handle and make nunchucks, get some nails and make nunchucks out of a broom handle and try to pretend you Bruce Lee. So the Ingrid said she did it. That's what Bruce Lee is the reason why we became interested in martial arts. Bruce Lee is the reason why many people, even to this day, get started in martial arts. You cannot talk about martial arts and don't bring Bruce Lee up. Prior to Bruce Lee, there was no talk about martial arts. Our first experience with martial arts was Bruce Lee when he was Kato in the Green Hornet. And nobody was watching the Green Hornet because of the Green Hornet. We was watching what Bruce Lee gonna do, what Kato gonna do. That's why we watched the Green Hornet. And in China, the Green Hornet wasn't even called the Green Hornet. It was called the Kato Show. Nobody didn't give a damn about this guy with his little hornet sting. We want to see what Kato gonna do. And Bruce Lee didn't get any love in America. Bruce Lee had to go to China. And that's where he started making movies. And he came up in China. He had to go to his own people because nothing was happening in America. But once Bruce Lee established himself, of course, the Peckerwood, we want to make a movie with you now, Bruce. We want to make a movie with you. That's how they are. You're a piece of trash, and they're biased and they're hateful. But once you start making a name for yourself, now all of a sudden, here come Warner Brothers and all the other leeches and suckers. Now, the sad thing is even Bruce thought his fame wasn't nothing until he make a movie with the Peckerwood. But his own people made him who he was. It reminds us when we are entertainers and we get all the love from black folks, all the love from soul people, but that's not good enough. We want a Grammy. We want to cross over. We want their attention. They give you value. Why do we act that way? Bruce Lee, your people made you who you are. The Peckerwood ain't nothing but a leech. Michael Jackson, you don't need the Grammy. Your people made you who you were. James Brown and Tina Turner. But you think that in order for you to really have value, in order for you to believe that you really made it in life, you got to get a Peckerwood's approval. I want their Grammy Award. I want their Oscar. What your own people give you ain't good enough. So with all Bruce Lee's intelligence, he still became a sick puppy. Because you can love humanity, but never put yourself above nobody. Ain't nobody better than you. Mine come first. I don't want you to starve. I don't want you to suffer, but when it comes down to it, mine come first. That's survival. Mine come first. And you're going to see, if you do not participate in the Mississippi campaign, if you don't come out here and try to get a piece of the pie on your own, and resources start drying up, there ain't no damn water, food gets scarce, you're going to find out mine come first. I love you black people, I'm not prejudiced, but mine come first. All your white friends and Asian friends and Mexican friends, they're going to tell you mine come first. That's just survival. That's just natural. Mine come first. I don't believe in not giving people their credit and their due. I give Bruce Lee credit and his props because he was definitely an influence on me. As much as I talk about, as much as I talk about Minister Louis Farrakhan, I give Minister Farrakhan his props. Because if it wasn't for Elijah Muhammad and Minister Farrakhan, I would not be talking to you today. That's just the reality of it. I'm going to give that man his props. He took me all over the country, Minister Farrakhan. I was able to meet all kinds of celebrities that I only saw on TV. Ben Casey, Richard Pryor, Ashford and Simpson, Jesse Jackson and his family. I met various type of people because of Minister Farrakhan. Because of Minister Farrakhan, I began to try to understand the business of revolution, the business of liberation, because of Minister Farrakhan. I give that man his props. As much as I will talk about his era, I will give him his props. Now we want to bring this to conclusion real quick. Now look, they will tell us that we should not give Bruce Lee props. These pieces of trash, these who hate humanity, racists in training, Pan-Africans, pro-blackly black, they will call us an Uncle Tom, a Sambo, all kinds of nasty names because we don't want to give, blackness credit, Africa credit. Now, so they would tell me, let's not give Bruce Lee credit because he's not a black man. But they will take our brother Jim Kelly and put him up on a pedestal simply because he's a soul brother, because he's black. But what did we just hear out of brother Jim Kelly's mouth, out of his mouth a few minutes ago? What did Jim Kelly say? May he rest in peace. We lost brother Jim Kelly a few years ago, I believe. Man, see, I'm going to say the same thing to these pro-black pieces of trash, the same thing that Jim Kelly said to Hans in that movie Enter the Dragon. Man, y'all come straight out of a comic book. Jim Kelly said, Bruce Lee is the greatest martial artist that ever lived. That's what he said, not me. And he worked with the man. He know the man. Jim Kelly, you said that Bruce Lee wasn't real, but you will agree that Jim Kelly was real, and Jim Kelly was a champion in some kind of martial arts, and he got good background in martial arts. And Jim Kelly is telling us the greatest martial artist that ever lived was Bruce Lee. So are you going to make mockery and demean and degrade Jim Kelly? Because that's what he said, not me. He said, Jim Kelly said, I've been around a lot of fighters, and Bruce was the best. He said Bruce Lee took on all comers. Didn't make no difference how big you was or how small you was. And he said he saw that Bruce Lee was the best. Why would he lie? And when I was growing up, I didn't hear all this stuff that y'all talking about when Bruce Lee was alive. Bruce Lee fake. He just do that for the cameras. The Africans was the first ones. The Africans do everything first. The Africans ate the first banana. The Africans took the first shit. The Africans climbed the tree first. Everything the Africans done, every damn thing. Nobody else on the planet do nothing. The Africans had to show them what to do. Everybody on the planet is stupid except the Africans. Well, if the Africans, my question is, if the Africans are so damn smart, if the Africans got it going on like that, how come you was made a slave for 400 years? Talk so to me. You got it going on like that. You built the pyramids, but you can't even build a doghouse in 2021. The majority of you talk about we built the pyramids. Your happy ass can't even build a doghouse. Some of you can't even change the tire on your car. You can't change the oil on your car. But we built the pyramids. You was made a damn slave for 400 years, and they still have slavery in Africa right now. Slaves. The pyramid builders. The gods of the universe. And you got the goddess of the universe on the corner selling her backside for $20. I don't do the fantasy and fiction stuff. We don't do that here. We got to keep it real here. Nobody on the planet, everybody is dumb except the African. And this is the reality when it comes to humanity. It doesn't make any difference who did what first and when. All of humanity is going to adopt anything that helps humanity. It doesn't make any difference who was the first one to build a car. We all drive cars now. It doesn't make any difference who was the first one to eat out of a spoon. We all eat out of spoons now. Who gives a damn? The only one who gives a damn is a racist, because they want to prove we the superior ones. We better than everybody. The white man is the superior man, but just a few days ago, somebody hacked your damn oil crap and stopped the gas flow. If you're so smart and got it going on like that, how come somebody hacked your system And then you paid them millions of dollars probably in ransom money to get your damn gas back online. You so smart and know everything. Nobody else is smart. Nobody else can do nothing. You so superior. You so smart and superior, but this COVID-19 got your ass wearing masks and killing you by the thousands. You so smart, you should have been able to easily just go in your laboratory, la-di-da, la-di-da, and it's still not over. I get sick of that. In order, see, it's childish. And racism is childish. You got to put down other people to make yourself feel good. And that's what some of us do. We look down on people because you only got one car. I have two cars. You only got a high school diploma. I got a master's degree, PhD or whatever. In order to make yourself feel good, you have to put somebody else down. And you actually think this is the kind of behavior that's good for you. You copying a racist. You're a racist in training. That's why we're in the condition that we're in is because of racism. What make you think that same mindset and behavior is going to get you out of the situation? It's got us sick. Black supremacy, pro-blackness, Kemetic, whatever you want to call it, Pan-Africanism, it got you sick that you ignore your own humanity. You don't even know what being a human being is. You too worried about being black. And what is being black? Black is a label that came from your oppressor. Black, African, colored, Negro. These are labels that the conqueror put on the people who he kicked their ass. Like you name your dog Spot and Rover and Butch or whatever you name your dog. Because an animal that's free in the wild is not going to answer to Spot and Rover. They're not going to answer to that. Who the hell you talking to? Who the hell you calling? But your domesticated slave will respond. Come on, Spot. Come on, black people. There you go. I's the black. Come on, African. Yeah, I'm an African. Your conqueror, your slave owner, your massa gave you these labels. And the foundation of your blackness really is whiteness. We were slaves on a plantation. Didn't know how to read and write. Illiterate. Who was the teacher that taught you about Kemet? Who was the one that taught you about being a Hebrew Israelite? Who was the one that gave you the Bible? Who was the one behind all of it? Your foundation is whiteness. Your foundation is white supremacy. And that's why you act like them, carry yourself like them, think like them, behave like them. And they are the enemies to humanity. And you are too. And you are too, an enemy to humanity. Following behind these demons. And so we miss out on a lot of things. We miss out on a lot of resources, a lot of help, a lot of good friendships because of our sickness. That's That's why you don't understand the Mississippi campaign. That's why you don't understand this ministry. Because we are like Bruce Lee here. Empty your mind. Get rid of all that stuff that we was taught. Start all over again. Be formless. Be flexible. Be shapeless like water. That's what we do here. There is no color here. We are pro-black without being pro-black here. I don't have to run around and talk about blackity black this and the black and blah. Oh, we don't have to do that here. We understand. The top priority is us. We don't have to talk about black and African and all that other foolishness. It's not necessary. Our path to liberation, our path would be much easier without all these unnecessary obstacles in the way. Empty your mind. That's what happened to me. I give credit. I'm going to say this and we're going to get out of here. I give credit to brother Pastor Ray Hagins. I heard Pastor Hagins say that Jesus never existed. And when I heard him say that, a light bulb went on in my head. Because if Jesus didn't exist, everything I was taught about Islam, Christianity, and a lot of these other things that I was taught, something is wrong. And then I went on to find out that what Pastor Hagin was saying, that's wrong too. That Kemetic stuff. He was mixing Egyptology with Christianity. That's what he was teaching. But Pastor Hagin can't accept that what he teaching is bull doo-doo also. Pastor Hagin is mixing Egyptology with Christianity. Nobody, Pastor, you who believe in that Kemet stuff, nobody from Kemet taught you nothing. Nobody. It's manufactured stuff that you believe in. Nobody from Egypt taught you anything. Nobody, no Hebrew Israelite taught you nothing. It's made up. And you pretended to be something that you're not. And you look crazy doing it because that's not you. The only thing we know about is living here in America. We've been here going on 500 years. You trying to dress up like somebody you think the way they dressed in ancient Kemet or in Israel some damn where. Look crazy as hell. Why you want to look like a damn sheep herder? You don't have no sheep to herd. We don't ride no camels in America. They trying to dress like they riding camels and herding sheep. Some of these Orthodox Muslims do the same kind of stuff. I say that we get on board the soul train. I say that we give people the credit that they are due. I say that we accept our own, be ourselves, and understand we are a new people in this nation, in this creation. Understand who we are. And our ancestors understood that. That's why they started calling themselves soul people, soul brothers and sisters, to give themselves an identity. It did not come from the Peckerwood. It didn't come from Africa. It didn't come from Asia. It came from our heart and soul. It's ours. And we make it how we want it to be. Nobody can tell me what a soul brother is. Nobody can tell me what a soul sister is. I determine, we determine what that is. So they call you a fake Hebrew Israelite. They call you a fake Muslim. And they call you a fake African. And they can do that because that's who they are. And they see that you fake. You're not one of them. But nobody can tell me I'm a fake nothing because this is mine. This belongs to me. I don't want your damn camel. I don't want to walk around your damn black ass rock. I don't need your Bible. If God really loved us, why didn't God give us our own book? I don't want your 2,000-year-old ass Bible with your dead people in it. I don't want your 1,400-year-old Quran with your dead people in it. Everything about it is dead. Everybody is dead. Muhammad is dead. Jesus is dead. All the folks that we praise and love, is everybody dead. We are alive here. When you talk about the Church of the Living God, that's us. We honor the people that came before us, but we don't worship them, and we don't expect Malcolm to do nothing for us. He's gone. We don't expect Harriet Tubman to do nothing for us. She's gone. We are alive, and we depend on other living people to help us. And if we ever presented a living God, God will be right here on this live stream with me. Not hiding behind a picture. I don't have to science up and manipulate. God will be right here on the live stream with me. Because we represent the real, the living God. And that God will be showing you his or her power. I see why y'all love dead stuff, because your whole attitude and behavior, you stink. These pan-African, pro-black type folks, whatever, they are nasty, they're profane, they liars, they are thieves, and the list goes on and on. Why would you want to continue to associate with the dead? What do you do with dead things? Dead things stink. Dead things are rotten. What do you do with dead things? You get away from them. You throw them out. You bury them. That's what you do with the dead. These are dead. Sister Ingrid said, bury them. Right. Get rid of them. You can love your mother or your cousin or your father, but when they die, you got to put them in a place. Now, there are those I've seen, they mummify the body or whatever, and I think they do it in India or some other places. They mummify the body, and the mother and the father are still in the house. You know, that's crazy. I don't want to see that. I do not want to see. I just lost my mother last year. I do not want to see my mother when I come in the house. She's dead, and you got her dressed up like she's alive. That's crazy as hell. I don't want to see that. I want to see you alive and at your best. I do not want to see some leftovers standing up against the wall. Can't do nothing for you. Dead folks can't do nothing for you. We represent the living here. That's what we do. We give credit where credit is due. You cannot tell me about my experience. And most people who grew up in the 70s, when I was growing up, when Bruce Lee was alive, they would tell you, we called Bruce Lee black. He was a black man as far as we were concerned. Bruce Lee was on the screen kicking ass. Woo! And some of you, see, it's also about personality. You like people because you like them. Jim Kelly, our brother, was good, but his films never reached to the level of a Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee had this persona about him. Not only was his martial arts fast and exciting, but you remember when Bruce Lee, he'll walk around and he do that little nose thing, be looking at you, and he do his nose like that, and then he scream at you, whoa, whoa, you know, all that stuff was cool, you know. He worked those nunchucks, oh, I mean, it's just cool. Patti LaBelle is a wonderful entertainer. But Patti LaBelle cannot compare to Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was exciting. Dancer, singer. But we give Patti LaBelle her props. But Patti LaBelle is not Michael Jackson. Let me show you how incredible the talent of Michael Jackson is. Normally, I might have my sisters In Vogue in the back, in my background. I went to see them in 2018. And this is how incredible Michael Jackson is. Exactly. When they were singing and doing their thing, I used to imitate Michael Jackson back in the day. So I didn't sing at all. I was just doing those Michael Jackson moves. Do you know? Now everybody come to see In Vogue. But when I started doing Michael Jackson, people went from In Vogue and was checking out what I was doing. I'm not Michael Jackson. I was just imitating and doing his moves. That's how incredible Michael Jackson was. And I'm very sure In Vogue wanted to see what was going on. You know, why, what was this? Who was taking the limelight away from? It's their concert. But that goes to show you, this is not to take nothing away from nobody. Jim Kelly is good. Chuck Norris is good. What's his name? Jean-Claude Van Damme. But Bruce Lee had his own type of style. And that's what it was about. It's about the martial arts, but Bruce Lee just had his own kind of persona. And we don't want to give the man props. Because we racist. I'm not going to give you no props. Nobody on the planet do nothing. All the Africans did everything. That don't even make any sense. Like other people on the planet don't have a brain. They can't figure nothing out. But at the same time, while they talking all this stuff, look at the condition of Africa. Look at the condition of yourself. You so smart. You so superior. And look where you at. Waiting in the welfare line for an EBT card with your superior ass. You in Africa are slave on a plantation in Libya right now. They have black slaves in Libya right now with your supreme African ass. You on the bottom, you fell down and can't even get up. Superior African ass. African supremacy to who? Nothing but talk. Yeah, you were superior back in the day till the white man showed up and kicked your ass. You always superior to somebody come and kick your ass. And all this crap talk about the white man is the devil and all that. No, he just kicked your ass. He's a conqueror. The same thing those Africans was doing, or in China or India. Living in a patriarchal society, men conquer other men. And Africans was doing it to themselves. The reason why you have a Kemet is because Kemet kicked their neighbor's ass and conquered those people. The reason why the Zulu nation was big as it was, because they killed their neighbors. And a lot of times, they killed the men, women, and children. And then you have something called booty. I want me some booty. Booty is the women. They'll spare the women and the children and kill all the men. And this particular tribe or nation, you never even knew exists because they wiped them out. And that's how men have been doing on the continent, regardless of race, all over the world. And now you angry and upset because this conqueror come and beat your ass. And you mad and upset because he done knock you down and you can't get up. I've fallen and I can't get up. That's you with your superior ass. If black people, if African is so damn superior, then prove it. Running your mouth. You can't hardly pay your bills. Talk about how superior you are. If you're superior like that, why are you making mockery? Why are you slandering? Why are you trying to degrade the Mississippi campaign? It should be easy to do. What's wrong with taking control of a state? If you don't want to do it my way, our way, do it your way. You had 100 years with your Pan-African bull doo-doo and Nation of Islam bull doo-doo and all this other pro-blackness bull doo-doo. Why haven't you accomplished anything with your superior ass? Talk to us. Put in the chat room. Where the trolls at today? Explain this to us. You want us to be a loser like y'all losers. I'm a winner. I want to win. I don't feel good losing. I want to win. We winners here. And the only reason why we lose is because we are surrounded by a bunch of losers like you cats. A bunch of losers. And you proud of it. How the hell you gonna talk about African supremacy, black supremacy, and you can't accomplish a damn thing? What are you supreme about? So on that note, thank you for listening. Jot down your comments, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. And we'll catch you on the flip. Support our sister Nova. Get her book. God is on trial. I think Sister Ingrid, I believe Sister Nova is actually working on 2 books right now at the same time. When they will be finished, I don't know. But if she wants quality, it's going to take a little bit. So it's not going to be a rush job. But for those of you who haven't done so, Subscribe to her channel. The information is in the description box. Subscribe to her channel. Get her book, God is on Trial. Our sister Karen, we might not do it tonight because we've been very, very busy on these live streams. But Sister Karen has a show, Late Night with Sister Karen, every Wednesday. I don't think we're going to do it tonight because we've been real busy doing videos. So, but you will know, you'll get the notification when she goes live. Late Night with Sister Karen. Also, if you want to support the effort, donate, show your support. Our Cash App information or whatever is in the description box. Again, a shout out to the family of Brother Malcolm X. Much appreciated. Malcolm X is very important here for us. And we remember Malcolm X and thank him so much for his sacrifice and his work. Brother Malcolm. So if there isn't any more questions or comments here, because they say I keep running from folks and whatever and blah, blah, blah. When you bring me foolishness, I don't have time for that. What's wrong with answering questions? Why would I run? I'm not afraid of you. They bring us foolishness and silliness. Nobody has time for that. Thank you for listening. Those in the chat room, the Deacons of Reality, Sister Ingrid, I thought I saw Denise Baker, good brother Steve, I saw. It was somebody, I think Brother Michael is here too, Brother Michael Perry. Thank you for everybody in the chat room for joining us this afternoon. Appreciate it. And we'll catch you on the flip. Those who are listening, shout out to everybody. And those who will be listening later, thank you so much. It's always an honor to come and speak with us. I appreciate it. And today is Wednesday, right? Okay, today is Wednesday. Okay, so tomorrow at noon, Brother Maurice Muhammad is going to be our special guest, and he has a lecture to bring to us. Hey, Kasim. Brother Maurice will have his a lecture at noon tomorrow, right here, and it's his baby. I'm just providing. They shut down Brother Maurice for medical violations because he was talking about COVID or whatever, and they don't want you. You're gonna get shut down if you talk about COVID. You're gonna get shut down if you talk about Jewish people. You're gonna get shut down. So I really don't have too much to say about COVID anyway, nor do I have too much to say, about Jewish folks. I just want to get the hell out of jail. That's all I want to do. Get the hell out of here. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. And as Don Cornelius used to always say, as important, I wish us love, peace, and so we already 5,000. Oh, his lecture is going to be about the concept of the superheroes. That's what his topic is. The concept of superheroes. So on that note, y'all, we already 5,000, and we'll catch you on the flip.